You'll be saying the family message.
She took half of my speech away. For those who don't know and haven't met me, I'm glad you met me today. Under better circumstances would be good. I am Monica's brother, and probably have known Monica all of her life. She was born right after the start of the Second World War. In September of 1939, we were evacuated from London to Gloucester as a family, and in 1942, Monica was born. For the next several years, almost until the end of the war, or at least until after D-Day, we would be evacuated. My brother and I went one place, and Monica and my mother went another place, and then we'd come back, and maybe this place come back. And we'd be going all over the place to get away from the bombing. But it was a very good remembrance for me, because I always looked at Monica, having been born in 1942, when rationing in England was very, very difficult. Everybody got some food, but you really didn't get a lot. Oranges, bananas, or any food that had to come from overseas, you didn't get a ration for unless you were under fire. And luckily, our family got a few oranges, we got a few bananas, because Monica was providing those for me. And I can still remember that, getting maybe one orange a month, and it was all because of Monica. And then eventually I grew up physically, if not mentally, but I left England at the end of the war and came back to the United States. So Monica grew up a lot while I was away, and I spent a few tours in England. But she was always the kind of person that got along with people, liked conversation with people. And it is I'm sure we all feel it, it's a sadness that we're here today, or the reason that we're here today. But we've all got sorrows, and time will slowly never take those thoughts of that person away. But certainly, you find it a little easier. So I want to thank everybody that has come here today and paying their respects to the memories of Monica. And I want to thank you for coming. One of the advantages of being higher on the program than everybody else, I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, but I might have said some things that other people are going to say. So I want to thank you very much, and hope to see you under better circumstances. But I appreciate everybody coming, just like the actual family. Thank you very much.
James Austin.
Miss me, but let me go, for this is a journey we all must take, each must go alone. It's all a part of the master plan, a step on the road to home.
Good job.
Jeff.
Hi everyone, I'm Monica's cousin, one of Monica's cousins.
Monica and I grew up together in North London, England, along with several other cousins. We lived in a community. We were an Italian family, and therefore there was a great bondship amongst the second generation. When babies are born in our family, you either categorised as one of our babies, which was determined by the maternal sisters in the family, or one of the other babies, which meant an in-law baby. And Monica was very much one of our babies. She had brown eyes, she had dark hair, and a certain familiarity. It's a thing in the family where when a baby's born, you kind of look at the baby and you know them. And it's because they're a member of the family and they're one of our babies, and Monica was certainly that. As a child, Monica was slightly mischievous, and it was something that I don't think left her throughout her life. Often because I was the youngest of the child clan in the family, I was the butt of the joke. And Monica did many things, not on her own, with other cousins as well. The one that sticks in my mind was when she and my cousin Brian got me as a little 4-year-old to stick my finger in an electric socket because she told me I could be Superman. So I believed it, and I did it. Fortunately, I survived. The other thing about Monica was that, apart from being mischievous, she was a very beautiful little girl, and she turned into an incredible, beautiful young woman. She had many suitors, and when Dick came on the scene in the 60s, being one of many and coming from the away team, the family didn't give him a lot of chance. They thought his odds was pretty low. But to his credit, he turned out the winner. And in 1964, he married Monica in the rather posh Brompton Oratory, which is almost opposite Harrods in London. And to the extent that the photographs of Dick in his military uniform, the beautiful Monica with an array of children that you can see in one of the pictures on the table there, they made the national press. They were in the Telegraph and several other of the papers. It was quite an event, and left some really great photographs for the family to nurture for the rest of our lives. In those days, Monica and Dick didn't live in the sunny climes when they first came back to America. Of Florida, they lived in a slightly cooler place called Buffalo. And it was actually the first time I ever come to America in 1974 to visit Monica and Dick. And Monica, being the consummate hostess, got Dick to give me a rather large glass of Listerine. We hadn't heard of Listerine in those days in Britain, but they told me it was a very discerning American liqueur. I was lucky, I survived that second attempt on my life. So nothing ever changes, and certainly nothing ever changed with Monica. She always liked to joke. And I think out of the three of the children of her generation, John, Raymond and Monica, Raymond and Monica were the two ones who did like a prank in the family, and they pulled off a huge number of them, and I haven't got enough notebook to fill them all up, but it was continuous. Then along come Douglas and Michelle, and Monica and Dick brought them to England. Well, at the time, Douglas was only a little fella, but he was full of how wonderful America was, and how everything in America was so much bigger and better than anything in England. So Monica, true to form, she gave me a list of things she wanted me to do for Douglas. So the first one was, well, when we drove through the country lanes, we told Douglas, this is an English expressway. This is one of our major roads. We told him that Big Ben was a guy who banged the bell with a hammer on the hour every day. And then, when I had to make him an English cup of tea, I got out a big tablespoon. It was probably about a foot long, and put it in the saucer. And Douglas said, "Hey, what's this, Jeff?" I said, "Douglas, don't you have teaspoons in America?" But that was all Monica's institution, and she was in stitches. She thought it was wonderful. Douglas and Michelle, as you know, grew up to be very successful in their careers, and I know Monica was incredibly proud of both of them because she shared that with me. And of course, when the grandchildren came along, the Fringo family, as our family is called, love their children. They love their children in a way that you cannot believe people loving their children. And Monica was no exception to that. When we heard of Monica's untimely death, we were shocked, really shocked in the UK. But you can never be as shocked as the direct family. And when you do lose somebody close to you, it's life-changing. But it's inevitable. It happens to all of us. There's no escape. When I lost my mother in 2000, what helped me was that I realised, and you do realise as time goes by, that all those memories that you built up over a lifetime of living together are still there. They don't go away. You have them. And what I did with my mum was I found the best photograph I could find of her, and I had it worked on, I had it framed, and we put it in a place in our home. But we didn't put it on the mantelpiece. We weren't going to be overwhelmed by it, but we put her there. And that, with the memories of all the life and the happiness we spent together, somehow made her feel she was still there. She was there with us at Christmas, she was there with us at birthdays. She was still and still is part of the family. And if I can give any help and advice to Dick and to all of the kids that Monica so dearly loved, it is that it does ease, and in time you do cherish the memories and you realise that nothing's really changed. They're still there and they're with you forever. As I said, I survived both an electrocution and a poisoning attempt on my life. But my memories of Monica were only good ones. And it's that I shall certainly take away with me from coming to the US this time to meet with the family and to console and share some of their sadness. But that's going to be my memory of Monica, and I hope that that's the way the family think about things as they move forward. Thank you.
Next is Wendy Schwartz, a dear family, friend of the family, and also my middle school dance teacher.
Monica Rose, as beautiful as a flower I hold, each petal representing her life as rich as gold. This petal, as beautiful as the marriage, the love, the life Richard and Monica had. Oh, this petal, for how proud she was of her son Douglas' accomplishments in life. What a handsome lad. And a unique petal which represents her daughter Michelle. She cared so much for, with all her quirks and odd life's happenings. The phone would sound, "Mom, it's Michelle, I'm hospital bound." She loved you, Michelle, I heard her say. She wouldn't like you any other way. And these petals represent the joy of her life, her 3 beautiful grandchildren, James Austin, Jax Brady, McKinley Rose too. Oh, she was so proud of all 3 with all that you do. And this petal holds the support she gave to all the children and the students in the world she had a passion for. She always had stories to tell about them, that's for sure. And this petal represents the humor Monica always possessed, as she made everyone believe the stories she did say, making up funny stories that would make everyone's day. And the rest of the petals, holding this rose up, represent everyone else in this room who Monica did touch. Her relatives, her friends, who will miss those special talks. So remember on your daily walks about our special Monica Rose, from her head to her toes. She was more than a special rose. She was a field of flowers, of rose and rose. Now I'm going to read you a poem. It's called The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates of the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that they spend alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard, and there are things you'd like to change, for you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way others feel, and be less quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a while. So when your eulogy is being read with life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? At this time, we invite any of you who wish to express their thoughts about our beloved Monica to please come forward.
Hi, my name is Claire, and I met Monica at City College, where Richard and her did the celebration time caps and gowns. Well, when I first met a stranger, you think exactly that, I'm meeting a stranger. As soon as we introduced each other, I knew I had a friend. Monica just was that kind of person, that she affected you that way. Now, I sat back there and I heard everybody remember Monica and all the great things that she did, how she made you feel. And when I was asked by Michelle if I could say a few words, I really didn't know if I could, because I'm a very emotional person. And I was so honored that she asked me to do that. I'm really not a member of your family. I'm not anyone that you ever met before. There's very few people in this room, except with Richard and his family, that I know. So I'm very honored, thank you. But I thought, what could I say? I think I'd like to speak for Monica. And I'm going to bless myself because I am very nervous. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. And each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand. She said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all I truly loved. But as I turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye. For all my life, I'd always thought I didn't want to die. I had so much to live for and so much more yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that I was leaving you. I thought of all the yesterdays, the good ones and the bad. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday, just even for a while, I would say goodbye and kiss you, and maybe see you smile. But then I finally realized that this could never be, for emptiness and memories would take the place of me. And when I thought of worldly things that I might miss come tomorrow, I thought of you, and when I did, my heart was filled with sorrow. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home. And when God looked down and smiled at me, From his great golden throne he said, "This is eternity, and all that I have promised you. Today for life on earth is past, but tomorrow starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, but today will always last. And since each day is the same day, there is no longing for the past. But you have been so faithful, so trusting, and so true, that though there were times you did some things you knew you shouldn't do, but you have been forgiven, and now at last you're free. So please, won't you take my hand and share my life with me? So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I am right here in your heart."